Hello everybody! On this matchup of Chaotic Tracers, we've got Discord from the very memeable My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series versus Marvel's infamous Loki of Asgard. Discord is a very strange character in My Little Pony. He often acts as the main villain in the show. He was first introduced in Season 2 and quickly started some discord. In his character, he is often theatrical, which may make it difficult for him to finish the job quickly in character. But also, we have, hailing from Asgard, Loki. He is the god of mischief. He fully takes advantage of his silver tongue and illusion magic to trick and manipulate people around him. He is quite arrogant and cocky in character, so this could just bite him in the butt, or even be his greatest weapon, but we'll get into that later. Now, let's let the games begin. And knowing these two, well, I mean that literally. Now, up first to bat, we have, in fact, Discord, the trickster of My Little Pony. Now, he can no-sale magic attacks, and he can even empathy manip to make the embodiment of caring into a complete jerk into a good friend, which we know that friendship is everything in the My Little Pony verse, making this just that much more important. He has the ability to warp reality by taking a branch and turning it into yarn just because he can, and even showing reality warping while unconscious, just sleepwalking and making an entire town just go crazy. He can completely resist transmutation since he is the living concept of chaos itself, and he can put people to sleep and even change their memories. Now, I did say that he was the concept. Why is this important? Because he has a abstract existence. He cannot be harmed or touched by normal means because he's not a physical thing in that sense. He is a concept out of chaos. That's shown very consistently throughout the entire show. He has Ghostbuster style ceiling, which is it's really cool. He can power null enemies by taking the source of their power or magic, like when he took Twilight's horn and Rarity's horn, and also Rapidash's wings, which is a very strong form of power nullification. Will it work on Loki? We'll see that. Now, he even can no-sale telekinesis on himself and just can basically completely ignore it. Yeah, even Twilight and her prowess with telekinesis wasn't able to do anything to him. He's able to BFR people with a portal into a pocket, like a sock puppet dimension. Yeah, no, My Little Pony's just weird, but he can do it. He's demonstrated the ability to freeze multiple people in solid gold, and he has control over the causality of action, as seen when a pony sneezed. He caused that sneeze to destroy a town. He can split his own body in half, as physical means of damage don't do much to him. He can create literal, mental blocks inside his brain, which you could argue give him resistance against, mental attacks. And he's even inherently illogical, which means that attacks or really anything along the laws of, logic shouldn't really have that much effect on this crazy goober of a monster. Let's see what Loki can do about it. Now, up next, we have the God of Mischief, Loki himself from Marvel. Getting right into it, though, he has an invisibility cloak that, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, but basically it makes him undetectable by the average person or device. He can inflict pain upon someone by the weight of all of their lies. Now, if you're familiar with Ghost Rider, it's similar to the penance stare, but they're lies. So this means every time Discord has tried to convince himself that he doesn't have any friends, all those lies are going to hit him. Every fib he's ever told the ponies, which is a lot, just in between you and me. It's all going to bite him right in the butt, and it could really just take him out in a single strike. And obviously, there will be a big threat against him, the main win condition of Loki. Loki is capable of pulling a sleight of hand trick on Mephisto himself, which is basically Satan. And also Mephisto, who interacts with souls, spirits, and concepts on a day-to-day basis, wasn't able to see Loki through his invisibility cloak. which you can argue is some sort of resistance on that invisibility. Loki also isn't just going to be sent away through a portal, since he's capable of conjuring his own with very, very minimal effort, even able to do it while fighting. He is worthy of Thor's hammer, like worthy Loki. Similar how Captain America got that worthy boost in Endgame. Loki can do the same in the comics. He's crazy. And this is even more impressive because it is written, whoever holds the hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Meaning that, well, it's very, very self-explanatory, but he has Thor's powers, and maybe you could argue Thor's strength. Now, even with all these impressive abilities, he still resists simple things like fire and, well, really anything, right? He's very powerful, and he holds the ability to separate the soul from the body and even steal one's stories. Now, what do I mean? Steal somebody's stories? Well, he gets a boost from then and now, which are kind of like concepts in the Marvel universe that deal with people's, present and their past, or present and past, and he makes a deal with them to completely have control over his own narrative, making him Loki, no longer god of mischief, but Loki, god of stories. Now, he even showed the ability to survive in a void for 8 months, and if portals aren't going to work for some reason, Loki can escape anywhere through manipulating his narrative and just drawing in a door, which, that's some Bugs Bunny stuff right there. Loki is a god, therefore he's connected to his story, his idea, and his myth. He cannot die without his name dying too. This is also called the Loki sleight. Hela, the Norse goddess of death herself, wants him alive. So, well, alive he will stay. And his truth hits with the weight of Thor's hammer thanks to the second ability of his silver tongue. Now, I could make the argument that with Loki's proud nature, he will truly believe he will win. Therefore, by telling Discord that he has no chance, Discord may lose hope, because that truth that Loki believes will hit Discord with the weight of Mjolnir. Which, I don't know, that's just a crazy ability to have. Loki also contains magic abilities in a space that shuts down magic abilities. He's not going to be powered so easily. Things he speaks will come true. So if he remembers something or he thinks something, it'll just happen. There's this character that can tell when someone's lying, and everything Loki was saying, even though it very obviously never happened, was true. It became true as he was saying it, showing that complete control over his own plot. He can interact with concepts like then and now, like I said, so Discord shouldn't be too much of a problem. And on top of all these insane godly abilities, he still has insane martial prowess, even being able to step to Wolverine himself and win, just knife versus claws. No extra power there, just his skill. Well, who wins? We'll figure it out. Now, we've gone over their stats, well, not really, their stats is equalized, but we've gone over their abilities and their prowess with what they do, and now it comes down to who would really edge out in this battle. Now, how I see this going, right? They meet up, see each other. Loki thinks he's the god of tricks and mischief. Discord's like, no, I am. Scrap a little bit. And it's really just going to come down to those abilities and resistances that I've already mentioned. And how we've talked about that. Now, the power of Loki's plot manipulation is a huge threat, but I haven't mentioned this yet. I've been keeping the pockets for suspense, but Discord has been shown to be able to step outside of the plot itself. Now, usually that should mean that he shouldn't be affected by the plot, but Loki affects his own narrative, his own plot. So even if Discord's outside of the main plot, Loki can still completely and utterly affect himself to the sense that he could do basically anything, which would still be a huge threat over Discord. And even without that, as we've seen, there's nothing to suggest that Discord would even be able to see this guy, because if Mephisto couldn't see him through his invisibility, nothing suggests that Discord could do that either. And, Discord's gonna try to get rid of his abilities, as seen that's his very first option he goes to in character, as seen against the ponies in the Maze episode, and that's not going to work against Loki. And like I talked about earlier, the Sword of Truth, that's going to be huge here. And I think that could just take him out, since, it's worked on concepts. Actually, gods themselves are inherently conceptual because they're a story, they're a myth, as I talked about in the Loki cycle. Um, and I mean, this would be an uphill battle for Discord from the get-go, but I feel like what really just sets it, like, kind of gets rid of it, in my opinion, gives it to Loki, is the fact that he is in fact worthy. Um, his ability to thor on top of his own prowess, and like I talked about with the Silver Tongue's second ability, he can even amplify the threat of "you stand no chance" into Discord truly believing and losing hope. And as we've seen, Discord has been very, very sensitive in the past. There's nothing to suggest that he would be able to do anything about this. And yeah, I think Discord just really doesn't get to the point in his fights. He would, give a speech and he would talk about some crap and he would try to put on a real show of performance and dilly dally. And Loki would be having none of it. And while I do think this is a close battle, I would say confidently that Loki wins this 7 or 8 out of times. Yeah, so that has been the video, Discord versus Loki. Um, yeah, thank you for having me, Corn. It's been fun. Quick editor's note, 7 or 8 times out of 10, not 7 or 8 out of times. Okay, yep, this has been fun, bye.